So I'm Heather, and I'm here with 107.9 The Link, and we're here with Maddie Poppe before the sold-out summer concert headliner series show at Catawba Brewing Company. And so one of the things I wanted to ask you about was I was reading online that you grew up performing with your dad.
Yes.
And one of the songs that you performed with him was Sweet Child of Mine.
You know what? That, I don't, everyone always asks that. It's on Wikipedia like that. And I think we sang that song like a couple times, but a more popular one that we always sang was Me and Bobby McGee.
Oh. Yeah.
But yeah, he was in bands, when I was growing up, and so they would get me up on stage, whether it was in church or, they were playing some sort of outdoor fair or something, they would get me up to sing a couple songs, and so that's where I think my love first started for it.
So did you always, like, as a kid, you were just kind of being pulled up on stage, but did you kind of, like, feel, like, drawn that way, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there were times when I was like, oh, I'm too embarrassed, or like, I can't do this, what are people going to think of me, but, yeah, it was always something that I loved to do, and there's just no other, I don't think there's any other joy in the world that just, like, makes me feel, that sounds so corny, but it's like, makes me feel the same way as when, I'm playing music.
So, if you weren't playing music, what would be, like, the other career?
Well, the guy behind the camera, that's who I would be right now.
Yeah?
I actually was going to school for digital mass media, so I was making lots of videos, and I did graphic design too, so I had a love for that too. But, music was always what I really wanted to do.
Well, and in what you do now, you can kind of do a little bit
Totally.
of everything. You're the mastermind of all your...
I have been doing graphic design. I actually designed all my single artwork covers, and did a lot on my album and designed the inside of my album too. So I'm still putting that to good work, making videos here and there too. So yeah, it's nice. I can still do a little bit of that.
So what's your favorite thing that you've designed? Is there, like, which one of the singles art was your favorite? That's kind of like asking you which was your favorite kid, right? But
yeah, my favorite single artwork was probably Little Things. I did like a little, I did like a neon sign for that, and I liked that picture a lot. But I will say that I worked with this awesome painter who I found on Instagram. Actually, he had painted a picture of me on American Idol, and I had seen it online, and it was the first painting that I had really saw that really looked like me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I want to ask this guy if he would, help me with my album artwork. And so we went back and forth, and I'm never, like, I'm such a perfectionist that I never am really, like, totally 100% satisfied with anything, but that came back, and he's a 16-year-old painter, and when that came back, I was like, this is just incredible, and it's like everything I wanted, and I didn't even have, I didn't really give him much of an idea. He kind of went with it himself. So that's probably my favorite. But I didn't do a ton. I can't take all the credit for that one.
That has a beautiful story behind it too, and also social media connecting another person.
Totally.
So, one of the other things I was reading about you was that you grew up in a small town, and I think Charlotte is kind of like, we always joke that it's like the smallest big city, because it's such a small town feel, but it's a big city. So what are some things that you miss about small town life that maybe you can't get when you're on the road traveling, or what don't you miss?
Oh man, I don't miss, this sounds bad, but like, I like that in a big city I can just like go out and not everybody knows my business, and like I can just like have no makeup on, and like no one's taking pictures of me, I guess.
Nobody's gonna notice.
Yeah. But some things I miss, it's like a double-edged sword, because I miss everybody too, and I miss knowing everybody. I miss being able to walk across the street and like feel safe and like not, I miss like, in a small town you always feel safe. I always felt really safe growing up and knowing everybody and all my friends back home and my family back home. But I think I miss my family the most, for sure.
Yeah. So I also read that there's a Maddie Poppe Day in your... Is that a true thing, or is that another Wikipedia lie?
There is another Wikipedia. We should do a segment on that, cracking all the lies. There is a Maddie Poppe Day, and they declared it last year. It was like May 21st or something. And that was when like my hometown visitor, or that was when I won the show. But they didn't celebrate it this year, I don't think. So like maybe it was just a one-time thing. But like they gave me a plaque. So
that's awesome.
who knows?
But you're one of the only people that has like a town with a day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
That's
As long as they still celebrate it.
right. You just have to go back.
We
next
need
year.
to maybe confront them on that.
Yeah.
Clarksville.
Clarksville. We're sitting here in Charlotte, North Carolina, wondering where Maddie Poppe Day was this year.
But you know what? I wasn't home either, so maybe
That
they were.
makes
Maybe they had a huge blowout party.
Can't have it without you.
I'm sure they had
So.
just a whole circus in the town, and I just wasn't there.
So on that, like if you were, well, you're going to be performing out today, but if you were performing at like Maddie Poppe Day, what song would be like like if you could never perform another song, which song of yours would be the one, the showstopper?
Does it have to be my song?
Not necessarily.
I think my favorite song to perform live is Dock of the Bay. And I like doing that on the piano. And I don't really get to play piano too often anymore, so I would say that one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what are you currently binge watching? What are you doing when you're traveling to kill
Ooh.
time? Like
I am always watching The Office. I've watched it probably 10 times through. But I also love Forensic Files. And that's my go-to show when I'm on the road because it's almost in every hotel.
yes.
And it's always on in the late night hours. And that's when I'm watching TV, like actually watching TV. Because I'm just like, I'm a night owl. So I stay up pretty late. And yeah, Forensic Files is like my favorite.
That's awesome.
Ever. But I also watched a bunch of SpongeBob yesterday, and that's also really good.
So oddly enough, I was watching SpongeBob.
The birthday party celebration?
Not the birthday party, but like I found out that on Prime, SpongeBob is on Prime. On Amazon
Really?
Prime. So I was just binge watching season 1 of SpongeBob.
Wow.